It's your boy Salim from Notorious S back with another video. Baby. Look, you read the title correctly. Let's talk about natural selection. Now, for those of you who don't know what natural selection is, it's basically a process by which, like, any specific group of like human beings, mammals, or what have you, there's going to be some of them that have specific characteristics that are going to allow them and favor them in surviving in that environment specifically, right? Let me give you an example. Now, if you guys don't know, like giraffes didn't always have long necks. So some of them actually before used to have short necks. But it made it that much harder for them to survive because in their environment, the food was always higher up in the trees. So that specific characteristic, which was the long neck, was favored. So those who had it were going to pass their gene to the next generation. Pretty much the same concept with human beings. I think something crazy like 4 out of 10 men, or 40% of men in all of history have reproduced, have passed their genes on to the next generation. Now, obviously, it's not necessarily external characteristics like a long neck that decided whether or not you were going to do it, but it's more so like intangible. Like you could actually fight to get these characteristics. You could get the social status, economic status, the strength, strength of character, decisiveness, and all these things is what was going to decide basically if you're going to get it, if you're going to get to pass your gene on to the next generation. And it's kind of funny because it seems like it's an archaic or like a kind of an older type of mentality. But to me, I want you to think about this. What if this whole process of like natural selection was still going on right now as we speak to this day? We just don't talk about it outwardly like that. Know what I mean? And it's funny because to me, the way I see it, it's actually going on right now. It's just like the way that it's brought about by nature, how nature has found it a way to bring it to the current day time is kind of unforeseen. But I guess like they're always unforeseen. I don't think the people that were subject to it, well, first of all, they weren't conscious that it was going on, but it's always kind of unforeseen, right? But to me, the way that I see it is the invention of social media, internet, dating websites, and social media platforms has kind of made it in a way, it's being applied, is what I'm trying to say, right? It's being applied right now. And so it's given an overwhelming amount of options and opportunities for women to be able to kind of choose men, right? And you'll hear a lot of people complain about that right now. It's really hard to go on dating sites. Girls have like thousands of matches and all these things, and they have automatically as a result to become more picky. But we often paint them as being like the orchestrator of this thing, which they're not. To be quite honest, they're not. They didn't invent that. And two, I think they're victims just as much of this, the whole process of natural selection as we are as people. Why? Because, bro, think about it that way. If the standards rise, it automatically means less people are going to make it. But it's still as many women looking for that man. It's just a rarer breed of man that they're looking for. Which means some of them, by default, they're not going to get what they want out of the whole search. They're going to die alone. Why? Because simply a lot of them will not settle. So they're victims because some of them will have to remain alone unless they accept that they're down, which is not in their mindset to want to do that, honestly. We're going to be honest. The beauty of it all, though, is twofold. As human beings, we're actually able to be aware of what the hell is going on, so we could change. We can make a course correction. It doesn't have to play out like that, and we have to stand by and look at it this way. We can actually affect the outcome. Now, you can look at it objectively, look at yourself, and think to yourself, all right, now I'm aware that this is going on. What can I change about myself objectively to make sure that I have more chances or increase my chances to be able to, procreate, call it whatever, have a family, pass my genes on to the next generation. Sounds a little corny, but yeah, man. So look at your hygiene, man. Is my hygiene appropriate? Like, does my smell alone, my scent alone, repel people, or does it attract people? What is it about me? Can I increase my social status? Can I increase my economic status, my communication skills? Am I effective when I talk? Because that's also important, right? What is it that I can increase for people to want to be around me, or girls to want to be with me as well? And it's all about improving. You all about improving, and you have the choice. You could choose the latter, which is decide that it was all doomed from the beginning and just stand to the side and accept defeat and just live your life, right? And renounce to that. And I do have sympathy for the people that do that. But bro, like, life is hard, man. You have to make a decision, or do the opposite, which is to recognize that there's something that needs to be better, made better, worked on, and then decide to work on it, right? To get the outcome desired. And now on the flip side, right, the third thing which is important is if you actually reach that level of difficulty, work your way up. Make sure that you do what you got to do to become a man of substance, so become a man of value, so you can get access. But let's not lie, we work hard for ourselves, but we want the cheeks, right? We want the sweet buns. You heard me? And so once you do that, since automatically by default law of offer and demand, there's less of you than of people that are looking to get you. People that are trying to get you, then you get your choice. You get to pick what you want. You get your pick out of litter, basically, right? So there's always going to be a reward. It's kind of fair on that side. And you're gonna, like, you see, bro, you see it. You see it. Like, there's guys getting into relationships with 2-3 girls and shit. Like, this shit, like, it's getting not out of hand because we live in two different planes of existence as well. Like, they run in different circles, but I think it's increasingly getting more common. Now, I mean, I just wanted to communicate it that way. And maybe that's the perspective you guys needed, that you needed to see it as, to maybe start changing things about you, or maybe just resign, you accept that you don't want to be a part of this whole thing. But yeah, I think it's very much a thing, this natural selection process. And don't ask me how I got this idea or how I got this perspective. It just dawned on me. Your boy was driving around the city. I just thought about that. Now, I mean, now, I don't want to beat around the bush, man. That's all I had to say. If you like the content, subscribe, like, share the video because it's free. And I'm going to see you next time. Peace.